inclusivity and innovation in dielectric and electrical installation. Here we support women professionals, inspires future leaders, and aim to make a global impact through collaboration and knowledge sharing. That's what we're doing right now. If we talk about the future strategies, and whatever we are doing right now, so we have mentorship and leadership platforms where we help the future women leaders for mentorship and leadership, and also different educational opportunities like technical and non-technical webinars. What we're doing right now is one of the example, and also networking for the career development conferences, webinars and workshops, and also we are also focused on the community projects. So we really promote the inclusivity, and our team is also, they are from different parts of the world, and we are truly honored to have our speakers here. So Venkatasai and me, Mahakasi, will be the moderators for today, and we are excited to welcome and introduce the distinguished speakers who will be sharing their valuable insights with us. So let's give a warm welcome to our panelists for today's discussion. Venkata. You're mute.
Okay. Sorry for the. Okay. Our first panelist, Dr. Bhajana Prasid, ma'am. Dr. Bhajana Prasid Durkin is the professor of mathematics at University of Kansas, where she also serves as a courtesy professor of electrical engineering and computer science and aerospace engineering. Her research specializes in stochastic systems and control education, bridging multiple STEM disciplines. Dr. Prasanna Durkin is a key figure in the IEEE Control Systems Society, currently serving as Deputy Chair of Technical Committee of Control Education. She is also a fellow of both IEEE and IFAC, and has been recognized with numerous awards, including the IEEE Third Millennium Medal and membership in the KU Women Hall of the Fame. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invite.
That's great. Thank you so very much, ma'am, Bosana. So next we are moving to our next panelist, that is Dr. Gunjan Varshni. She is an associate professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering at JS's Academy of Technical Education, Noida, where she has dedicated over 17 years. She has published more than 30 research papers in international and national journals and conferences. She's a senior member of IEEE. Dr. Varshni leads the IEEE JSS ATN student branch as a branch counselor and serves as a faculty advisor in Women Engineering Affinity Group in the same branch. She's also involved in industry, academia, young professional committees, and contributes to MDSN committee of IEEE UP section. Dr. Varshni's dedication to IEEE has been recognized with the Outstanding Branch Counselor Award from the IEEE UP section in 2022 and from the IEEE MGA in 2023. We are so honored to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Moving to our next panelist, Mary Ellen Dander. Mary Ellen Dander is an IEEE fellow and a member of IEEE ETA Kapanu Society. With the designated career at IBM, she held various technical and management roles, including international assignments and leading projects in hardware and software development. Mary Ellen has served in numerous leadership positions within IEEE, including IEEE Treasurer, Vice President of MGA, and Chair of the IEEE WIE Committee. She is the visionary behind the IEEE Move International Community Outreach Program, which provides disaster relief and STEM education, earning her prestigious IEEE Harden Pratt Award. In addition to her IEEE contributions, Mary Ellen was recognized as the top woman in business in North Carolina Research Triangle and was named to the Business Leaders Magazine Impact 100 list. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invite.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Mary. So next we have Dr. Ramalata Moringato, and she's an educator, entrepreneur, example for a lot of women in IEEE and outside. She's an impact creator with a passion towards humanitarian technologies and service learning through projects. Her international talent show, IEEE WIE 12, with participation of students and professionals from more than 20 countries, is to bring stakeholders awareness and engagements on United Nations Sustainability Development Goals on the ground level. Her passion for gender equality has conceptualized into International Returning Mothers Conference (RMC), for which she is the founder chair. She has won many awards for her work to improve the quality of life in the rural society through effective education from IEEE, Lions Club International, Rotary Club, Anita Board. Recently, she was awarded with the IEEE EAB Meritorious Achievement Award in Continuing Education 2024 for her contributions in reskilling and upskilling women through RMC. We're honored to have you, Dr. Ramlata.
Thank you very much.
Next, our last panelist, but certainly not least, Sevile Ganam. Sevile Ganam is a computer telecommunication engineer with a recent master's degree in telecommunications, networking, and cybersecurity from the Lebanese University. She currently works as a system engineer at Invigo Offshore and is a Red Hat certified system engineer. Sevile has been recognized as one of the IEEE Computer Society's 20 in their 20s, highlighting her as an emerging leader in computer science and engineering. In addition to her professional achievements, she is an active IEEE volunteer, holding roles such as IEEE Day 2023-24 chairperson, IEEE MGA SAC Virtual Speaker Bureau chairperson, and treasurer for IEEE Young Professionals Lebanon.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Let's jump into our discussion. To start, I would like to direct our first question to Dr. Bojana ma'am. Ma'am, your first question is, in your role as a professor, how do you balance the traditional mentor-mentee relationship with reverse mentoring, where you learn from younger challengers or students? With innovative approach, have you employed in what innovative approaches have you employed in mentoring that effectively integrated intergenerational learning and leadership development? Over to you, ma'am. Bhajan ma'am. Team, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you. Maybe Venkata, we can go for Dr. Gunjan for now. Maybe there's some connectivity issue on her end.
Sure, okay. Mehak, you can.
Okay, sure. So, Dr. Gunjan, my first question to you is, what role does digital literacy play in preparing students for the future workforce? Because we have seen, many examples while everyone was in lockdown, there was COVID. So the digital literacy, it's prevailed a lot, and everyone learned, there is something which is digital, and we can all learn digitally, and we recognize the scope of digital learning. So, what do you think about what role digital literacy play in preparing students for the future workforce?
Yes. Thank you, Mehak. This is a very good question. Basically, related to the student and student fraternity, it is a very important nowadays. And since just now you talked about the digital during the digital tools during the COVID-19. Yes, definitely. It was very, very helpful. especially for the students. If we talk about the digital literacy, so digital literacy has become essential for nearly all type of employment fields. Technology intervenes in each of these fields, and it is need of the hour also. If I talk about the students, then student are using nowadays for all type of the learning, all type of the technologies also, the digital platforms. And one another thing that I am observing, because I am into the field of academics since past 21 years, so I'm observing this thing nowadays. Everything is available in open field, or we can say through the digital media also. So the students have a lot of platforms, lot of options for getting the certifications also. Like our IEEE also provide the platform for so many certification courses also. So sometimes when I see the digital literacy is very, very important to for the career growth also. They are useful for the creative problem solving also. And I would also like to add that is a highly valued skill. Means if we talk about the skill development also, then the digital literacy is very important, and tools are also very important. Okay, so students and the future generation, if we talk about, then definitely it is very, very useful. But one thing also that I would like to add here, not only positive side, the another thing is lot of information is available. So who is going to validate that information is correct or not? So this is also very, very, very important. So what I am observing nowadays, the students are taking different help of from the media, websites, different things are available on the Google. They have a habit of simple, like if I see my daughter also, so after COVID, she's also started to look into the Google. Mama, I need to do a project on this, for example, the education or something like green energy. So she started to look in the Google. Not only using her mind, she started to see the online platform. So this is the another thing that we all should see. So the another thing that is the wrongly literate also, we can have that misinformation is there. So if the digitization is used unethically, then it may have contrasting effects also. So here as a whole answering of this question is, yes, it is useful for the betterment, for the career growth, for the student learning, and so many certification, AI, data science, loud now lots of fields are open. So students are learning, and everybody is also learning. Like I am also learning with the help of these free courses and the platforms that we have. And the other thing also, I think Buzana ma'am will also add me, and those who are in the academics, like with the help of the online portals, like I am using the Google Classroom for uploading my class notes and all the material. So it is easy to for us also being a teacher. But apart from that, it is also doubling our work. Means now after the COVID, the students are not coming out from the COVID effect. They just want to sit in the easy way, and they just want to see the things in the like a digital mode, ma'am. So they are not willing to sit in the class in the physical way, and they just want to see the all the things at the digital mode. Ma'am, kindly provide us the notes and all these things. So just as a summary, it is good at most, but sometimes it is like misinformation is also there. And for the students, the physical mode of the classrooms is also very, very important. Thank you, Mehak.
Thank you, Dr. Kunzan.
Yes. Now going to the Vasana ma'am. Your first question is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Good. I started meetings from 5:30. I'm in Los Angeles. I speak to you from Santa Monica, home of University of California, Los Angeles. And because maybe of that volume, that this is my third meeting, maybe, can you see it affects maybe some technology, but I'm glad that you hear me. So yeah, I am professor at University of Kansas, and I am professor by education. I am Polish mathematician. So I used to teach 14 years in Poland before moving to the United States. So I have that broader perspective. And I didn't, when I moved to the United States, I didn't have clue about American education. But I volunteer, and this is something to share with you as the best practice and gave me the best foundation for education and for teaching. I volunteer at elementary school. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth graders, I taught on the top of my duties at university. I taught every day probability and algebra using Polish, French, and American books. I had 17 students who won every single math competition in Kansas. So that gave me the best, absolutely the best practice. I can argue with my husband, who is American, that I know more about education, American education, than anyone else. And this, I am passionate about teaching. I love students, and students make me feel young and make me feel I learn from them and they are part of me. My mother reminded me always that I was born to be a teacher and I was born to help others. And this is true. How I do that, I have almost over 70 students that I mentor, advise on master's and PhD students. Oh, it's interesting, all of them, except one, chose industry for career. So why? Because probably it affects the way how I teach. I teach from the day one to be engaged in research. Since research is my passion, they have to also somehow be engaged. So I teach so-called research base. So I teach probability. This is what I love, absolutely. And I teach mathematical statistics, and I teach stochastic adaptive control, which is very interdisciplinary research. And that's why I am member of 10 IEEE societies, because all of them are overlapping with my research. This is also extremely important because I learn from different disciplines, different fields, and I get those ideas, and students are engaged in that. So since I am very much engaged in interdisciplinary leadership and also scholarship, students automatically have to be engaged. How I do that? I am the only one on faculty probably of university that I don't give syllabus on the first day as just this is what you will have. No, my syllabus is a contract with students. So I give them draft of syllabus and I give them opportunity to modify, to contribute, and what they think would be better. It will be our contract, our syllabus. So I never do professors' syllabus, professors' direction, but students automatically are engaged. And if they sign, they have to sign that contract because those are responsibilities. So my colleagues, it was nicely said in previous talk, that students now demand to be lectures to be posted, everything should be available, everything. No, it doesn't need to be like that. So, for example, my husband teaches online courses at the same department. I teach in-person courses, but in person, I combine with that great opportunity also meeting online, because guest speakers, my former students and my colleagues, including Dr. Ramalata, who was a guest speaker in my courses. So I give that opportunity online. So this was combination, nice balance. If I have to attend, like I attended in spring, conference in Canada, students were allowed to join online when I was over there and co-organizer of the first undergraduate students conference, which was absolutely gorgeous. So they immediately are engaged in leadership. They can see what I do and they do the same. I am faculty advisor for 2 chapters. SCIEM stands for Society for Industrial and Applied Mathematics, and Association for Women Mathematics. So students are already engaged in that kind of leadership that I am engaged. And this works absolutely. I learn from them, they learn from me. And this is why it's just incredible collaboration. So I teach them from day one. For example, this semester, on Monday, we start semester. I will be teaching probability course. But what is challenge? That in my course, you have all possible fields that they need probability, including psychology. Not only all engineers, but they will be always science and physics, chemistry and biology, and not only, there are different levels. So they are senior students, undergraduate, but many graduate students. So this is extremely popular course. And what is very beautiful to teach, because you teach everyday life. For example, I'm in Santa Monica, and to think, I came back from summer, from Europe, from everywhere at the conference, but on the street of Santa Monica, you see Uber with no driver. It's so exciting. I didn't take that Uber yet, but I'm planning to take, because my friends say that it's better than with driver. So you can see, I immediately think about risk. I immediately think, what is the risk? Because this is probability is in blood, in my blood, randomness is in my blood. So I think about those events that occur with probability 0, but I think about them, technology, but there is a risk involved also. So that's why it's exciting time to teach. It's exciting time to engage students in leadership and organizations, and just being part of that, what is going on so fast. I'm sure we will hear from Mary Ellen absolutely a lot about that. She is leading incredible projects that every of my students knows about. So, engage and just engage and be. So I don't take care of cameras, everything. Students prepare everything for me. They are part of teaching, part of learning. And not only, some of students don't like to collaborate. Not in my class. In my class, you have to collaborate. You have to learn how to collaborate, how to be leader on the team, how to present. So communication is absolutely fundamental part of mathematics course. How you communicate, you will win. My students never waited for offer longer than 72 hours. So because of communication, so to finish, because I could speak forever about my passion and I will tell you the biggest success. I was teaching 40 years at University of Kansas, and so altogether over 50 years. And the first time last semester, the first time in my teaching career, all students finished with the highest grade. I've never had that case. So this is a result of being engaged in research, in teaching, in leadership. And so I am the happiest person looking for, and I will tell you to finish my presentation, I have 5 tools, 5 C's that drive everything what I do in my life. Those 5 C's are curiosity, like the daughter Googling and, looking for information, curiosity. So next one is creativity. If you are curious, you have to create something. And we will hear today on panel about creativity and so on. Then connections. Students learn in so many different courses, so many things, how to connect. And then communication. And the last, the most enjoyable, collaboration. So those 5 C's drive just my successful tools. So I will stop. And if any question, please send me or just. But thank you for giving me opportunity to share with you some. I have a lot of practical advice and wisdom, but for another panel. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Boza. It was really impressive. I think you're the most passionate teacher I've ever seen because you were so excited. Like I was listening to you. I think I graduated 2 years back as a bioengineer, but I haven't seen anyone so passionate about teaching and, especially loving students and do not help with the syllabus on the first day. That was impressive. Thank you so very much for sharing. So next, I would like to ask from Dr. Ramalata Marimoto. So, Dr. Ramalata, when we talk about diversity, we really emphasize a lot in women in engineering in different societies. Same goes for DEIS. And we really think that increasing diversity can really innovate the workplace or anything that we are working on. So I have a question that can you share any example where embracing diversity has led to more innovative and effective sustainable development solutions?
Share my ideas with you all. Of course, the question is some examples you need for embracing diversity, how it has led to more innovative and effective solutions, right? Okay.
Yes.
I will tell you one small story where we had 5 students at one point of time where we were doing a project. The project was on ankle foot orthosis, which is for the drop foot, people who are suffering from drop foot. And this was a problem statement which we received from one of the nearby hospitals called Kovai Medical Center Hospital. And we were trying to find a solution. The drop foot is something where the horizontal position of the foot will not be automatically done by the patient. When he or she lifts the feet, it will automatically sag either on the toe side or on the heel side. Whichever way it happens, it goes and strikes on the floor and it gives immense pain. And that pain will radiate into his hip, and finally it will really make it painful, so that the patient will start dragging the feet. And we were trying to find some solution for the same. And we were working on a polyurethane material along with ordinary processes with some sensors also to measure the angle of the foot, so that the angle of the foot, if it increases automatically, the sensors will sense it and send the direction to the processes so that we can immediately do a corrective action. So this is the solution we found. And the team of the project was all boys. All the 5 of them, they were measuring some plastics, and with the help of the plastic, they were creating a foot, and they were trying to make it into a makeshift foot. And they were creating the vision of how it goes down. The heel strike and the toe strike can be duplicated, and with the help of the processor, we were trying to work out on the final outcome we wanted to measure. And one problem here was we were not able to actually work on it because the sensors were underneath, and the weight of the person, when we actually put the foot on it, if we place it on the ground, it created a friction which affected the sensing ability of the sensor, and they were not able to find a solution for that. And at that time, they were struggling for nearly a month to find a solution, and they did not approach me. And then finally, they came to me and said, "Ma'am, we are not able to do this. Finding it very difficult. This is the one problem that we cannot solve." At that time, one of my other students who was on another project, she was standing with me, and she was discussing about another project. And when these people came and talked about it, she immediately said, "Why are you placing the sensors underneath? Rather than that, why don't you place it on the foot itself, so that the measurement can be easily found if it extends, and if it does not extend, it is going to stay on the foot itself." And she offered another solution also, which was a flex sensor. And immediately they tried that, and they were able to find the solution. The project was absolutely working. So this is one example of where the people are not able to think, because they have been stereotyped into one kind of solution, and they were not able to think. Okay, I'm not saying that it is only because she was a girl she was able to provide a solution. But what I'm saying is, when you are with like-minded persons, the diversity can be anything. When you are with only like-minded persons and you are discussing the same problem again and again, you might not find a solution. But an outsider can be able to look at the problem objectively. He or she might be able to find a solution. And another example I can give is, at home we are using vacuum cleaner, and this vacuum cleaner has 2 operations. One is blowing and one is sucking. And I always blow, my husband always sucks. I'm sorry for the expression. I didn't say my husband sucks, but my husband used the sucks operation. And I found that because the machine had both the operations built into it, we were able to utilize it. Either he or I will be able to use it. And definitely this should have been the design team which designed this. Definitely they would have had a woman also there. It would not have been a complete male dominated team, because the perspective of how a woman can use will come only for a woman. So that is the power of diversity. When you use diversity to make this kind of decisions, particularly for the manufacturing, the manufacturer also finds it worthwhile to have women or diversity in the innovation teams. Definitely, the way our neurology works for women is different from for a man, and this difference has to be celebrated, and this difference has to be amazed at, so that we will also have a positive outcome out of it rather than fighting for a place. I read somewhere the job opportunities is not a pizza to share. So just because women are given a small share out of it, we are not cheating the men out of any job opportunity. Job opportunities are going to be created continuously. So I think that having broad-minded solutions, like embracing the difference in the people, diversity in gender, ethnicity, age, everything is going to bring out sustainable development solutions, and particularly age-based knowledge. You can think of the knowledge that you are gaining out of a book or out of your internet, but can you make it equal the experienced knowledge that comes from an old person? That cannot be replaced with book knowledge or even with an internet knowledge. So definitely embracing diversity will lead to innovative and effective sustainable.
Ma'am, thank you for your valuable mention and the valuable examples you have given.
Thank you.
Next, Mary Ellen, ma'am. Well, as we have seen your visionary behind the move, which focuses on the STEM education, I would like to give a question that how can organizations like MOVE play a pivotal role in shaping the future of leadership and community engagement? What are some of the most significant challenges MOVE has faced in ensuring that your outreach efforts are inclusive and intergenerational?
Thank you for that question. I'm sorry I can't seem to get my video on at this time. But MOVE had many challenges along the way. When we started, it was something totally different that we never thought of doing with IEEE volunteers in the past. We were going to go in case you're not familiar with it, it is a disaster relief program, and it involves taking equipment out into the disaster with us for communications and power. Sometimes it's in a truck, sometimes it's packaged differently. And we have IEEE volunteers who go out to assist after a disaster hits. And some of the challenges we were faced with, how do we do that without putting our volunteers in grave danger? How do we feed them? How do we house them in these situations where large sections are out of power and communication is gone? and we just had to evaluate each risk and go step by step by step. We also do STEM education when we're not at disasters, and we actually take the trucks, which have all kinds of equipment in it, something tangible, into a school or into a science fair or to a community, and we let people come in and we talk about what we do and how we use the technology to assist people who have been hurt by the storms. And so that is how to actually do that and do it in a safe way is one of the challenges that we had to enter into. Power. How can we have enough power on board? Because the power can be off for weeks at a time. And so we want to be able to operate long enough to be able to really be of assistance. That's another challenge. So we have a power system that our IEEE volunteers designed that helps us to operate for sometimes up to a week, 24 hours a day, so that we can provide this assistance. And so there were many technical challenges that we had to do. But in addition to that, we had to figure out how we would operate with the community as a whole, how we would do outreach with other organizations that go out into the disaster area and help people. So we had to look for a niche where we could use our special talents, which are of course technical in nature, and how we could apply that to the problem at hand. And so we worked with other community partners. We started talking to other people who respond to disasters. We did focus groups. We did a lot of different things in order to understand the problem space of what we were trying to accomplish. But then we have other challenges in the program. So for instance, if we deploy with a partner like the American Red Cross, whose mission is to alleviate human suffering, they tend to set up large shelters for people who are displaced by the storm. They work with other partners who provide food and other things that are of need by the people who are impacted by these storms. And we were trying to also help the public in general because the government plays a role, and then other community partners, we call them non-governmental organizations like the Red Cross or some other type of charity organization, will come out and try to help. And so you have to figure out how you can work with all those groups. And that's a big communication challenge. But in this kind of situation where we're doing a mission that touches the heart, you find that other people doing heartfelt missions are very willing to try to work with you so that we're all better at it. And so we practice together, we communicate, we share with them what we're doing, they share what they're doing. And so there's a large communication thing going on. But the other thing is that when we go out into one of these disaster areas, there's sometimes weeks or months where that area is impacted, even in the United States, and where we have a lot of infrastructure and you can go most everywhere and get internet and things like that. But when a storm hits, a large scale storm, you can have hundreds of thousands or millions of people with no power for a very long period of time, and all the problems that are associated with that. Cell phone towers can be laying on the ground, and so they're not of any use. And so we come in with satellite communications to assist in those areas where they have nothing. However, when we go, each one of the trucks, we usually have between 2 and 5 people go with the truck. So it's not a huge team that goes with the truck. However, we have in it, sometimes it tends to be people who are retired because they can spend a couple of weeks away from home. But we have many young people in all ages that want to participate and assist. So we have a number of support organizations where people operate from home. We have a radio club. The radio club stays in communication you can operate from your home. If you have an amateur radio, you can talk right to the people in the truck. You can assist them with what's going on. We have a weather team. They tell them if they're heading into bad weather, how to avoid getting into a bad weather situation, how to change the route, what they should do, because the people in the truck are trying to get there. And the people who are outside are able to get in here and communicate and help for a few hours at a time, and then go on with their life and come back and help a few more hours, whatever. And we pass the responsibility out to other members of the team. And so that is a really important support function, that we have those kind of things. We also can remotely monitor our network. So if the people who are on the ground in the disaster believe there are some network problems, but they're out setting up laptops for volunteers who are going and looking for people in distress, well, then they may be spread really thin with their talent. And so someone from of our networking team can then go in remotely and manage the network and make any changes and see how it's working and monitor it and do all those kind of things. And so we have a lot of people who support the mission, even though a small number actually go on the mission. And so communication is very important across all these teams. And it kind of reminds me of communication across the generations. So I'll segue into that. I'm a mother of 2 young men. I'm a grandmother of 3 teens and teenagers, and the way they communicate is different from the way I communicate. But we all try to communicate, and we learn from each other. And I think that's true in business. I think it's true in university. I heard previous speakers talk about how much we learn from each other. I've done some mentoring in my career, and I remember thinking that, I should do this to help the younger people. But what I found was they helped me. And so it was a very synergistic kind of relationship, and we helped each other. And I feel it's important for us to understand how the new generations communicate. There's a lot more multimedia kind of communication now that comes out, and we need to move to the latest and greatest forms of communication. There's a lot more of what I'll call little snippets of information. People learn it from YouTube or something, or Instagram, or some tool like that, where they get just enough information that they need. But there is such a big amount of information available, and as our first speaker said, and it's not all vetted. It's just out there. And I believe that IEEE, we are a trusted source of good communication. We should play a role in that in going forward in the future too, to make sure that the information that we provide is well vetted, even if it changes the form that it's given in, and that we continue to work on our reputation to be strong and truthful, and to make sure that the right information is out there for society as a whole. So I rambled a little bit, but I think that there is a difference in how we communicate. I think we should embrace it. I think it's wonderful. I never used to text until my sons wouldn't talk to me unless I texted them. And now I do it all the time with everyone, and I love it. And it even links me to my young people, and I use social media. All these things are great advances that weren't there when I grew up. When I grew up, we had one telephone in our house. Many people had to share that telephone line with other people in their neighborhood. You called a house, you didn't call a person. And now it's so individualized, it's amazing. But I think that products are advancing as a result of diversity of trying to solve problems, and there were some good examples in that. I'll give you one more, and then I'll give back the microphone. But when the U.S. Automotive companies started hiring women, they started to get new requirements for vehicles. And the women wanted minivans, and they wanted ones where the doors, they didn't open out, so you would hit the car next to you when you're parked. They wanted ones that slid along the side, so when the kids opened the door, they didn't damage somebody else's car. And they wanted a trunk in the minivan that would open when you have 2 bags of groceries in your hand, or you have children and your hands are full. They wanted things like that. Safety features went in when mothers started to utilize these vehicles, and they could see, what future enhancements would be very beneficial to their situation. So I think it's important that we have, we listen to each other, and that we have diverse people solving problems. It's, instead of looking at a 2-dimensional picture and missing everything in the back, with diversity, you get a look all the way around at the problem, what you want to solve, and you get a more comprehensive solution. So with that, I'll yield my mic, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mary. And I believe like all the IEEE volunteers and every one of us, we learn how to give back to the society. And IEEE is one of the good examples of, giving back. So thank you so very much for sharing all the incredible examples. And we are so honored to, have you today. Venkata, we can move to Sibel.
Thank you very much.
Like your question is, how have your experience with IEEE and your technical roles influenced your approach to fostering inclusive and effective leadership in professional settings?
Thank you for the question. So first, before I start with my own approach, I want to highlight that before being a leader myself, I was on the receiving end of the effective leadership. So I can give 2 examples. For example, at my own work, I work in a team where I have a really supportive team leader. He's really amazing. He always encourages all of us to speak up, to share knowledge. We always have collaboration together. It's really a really supportive environment. And at the same time, in IEEE, I have experienced the same thing in all of my volunteer roles. So I've been in IEEE since 2016, so I guess 8 years so far. And through my 8 years, I've been a volunteer for 6 years, I think. And it's been a really long journey. And through all of my leadership roles, and even any role that I have had in IEEE, I have always encountered this type of leadership. And so I can give an example in IEEE Day particularly, where I joined the team 2 years ago. I joined the team as an assistant for the marketing lead, and this was really an experience that changed everything for me, because I really was able to have my own ideas. I was able to really express myself, to implement things that are different. And I was able also to learn from others in a really supportive environment, in a way that really helped me to lead the team later on as the chair of the team. And the same goes in my work. So due to all of this great leadership that I have experienced from being at the receiving end of this leadership, I was also able to support the newer engineers that are currently being recruited in the team, or the interns. I'm able to help them as well the way that I was helped when I first joined the team, and to support them, answer their questions, work together, and all of this. So this is just a little bit of my experience as an effective leadership, on the receiving end of effective leadership. And I think that it's really important that every one of us uses IEEE in a way that they become a better leader, because IEEE provides a lot of opportunities. And through all of my years in IEEE as a member and even as a volunteer, from my student branch to things in my region and then in MGA and all of this, I have really experienced how every single person can really feel that they belong to IEEE, they can contribute, that they are heard, others respect their opinion. Even though I might be the youngest in the room, everyone is listening and hearing me and able to really understand what I'm saying and understand my point of view. So that's something that I have been experiencing in IEEE for a very long time. And it really changed the way that I work, even in my own professional career. So in my profession, I feel that I am different because of IEEE, because of everything that I've experienced before. So I'm able to really stand out the way that I work with my clients, and I always have meetings, and I work on projects and all of this. I'm always able to really deliver this type of this great type of leadership that I was even exposed to previously. So this is a little bit about what I experienced. And also another point is that effective leadership that I learned in IEEE has also helped me as a student in university. So it's really good to hear about all of you, especially about some of the speakers who are professors, who have even became effective leaders with their own students. I also experienced the same with my own teachers, and I was even able to be even the student representative of my university, representing the students, helping them, and also being able to really execute everything that I've learned because of IEEE in this type of environment. So I feel that also students can also contribute a lot, even though I'm no longer a student now. I graduated a few years ago, but I feel that it helped me a lot and it shaped me a lot into what I am today. Thank you for the question.
I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed panelists for the insightful contribution today. Your expertise and perspective have illuminated the critical role of technology leaders in driving innovation, fostering inclusivity, and addressing societal challenges. Before we conclude, we would like to present a virtual token of appreciation to each one of our panelists for their valuable input. Can we have the virtual token of appreciation for our guest?
For question is visible.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhajan ma'am, for joining our panel discussion.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gunjan ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would also like thank Mary Ellen ma'am for accepting our invite.
Thank you. My pleasure.
The next, I would like to thank Ramalata ma'am for accepting our invite. Next, we have Assembly. Thanks for joining the conversation.
Let's all capture this moment with a group photo to commemorate this enriching discussion.
I would like to request all of you to turn on the camera.
Small request to everyone to please switch on their videos.
Venkata, are you going to capture?
Yes, I would like to. Waiting for
Okay.
Mary Ellen ma'am to turn on the camera.
Okay. Okay, yeah, let me know. Say 1, 2, 3.
Sure, I will. Mary ma'am.
I'm sorry, I can't get my camera on. It's turned off. I apologize.
Okay, then,
No problem.
1, 2, 3. Let's go. Okay, done. Keshav, you can
Done.
continue.
If there are any questions from the audience, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or drop your query in the chat window. Once again, thank you to our panelists and everyone who joined us today. This concludes our panel discussion. Stay safe, healthy, and happy.
Yeah, thank you so very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Once again, thank you to
Namrata
all.
ma'am, you are on mute. I think you are saying something. No?
You're not able to hear me?
Hey, we can
No,
hear.
ma'am. Now we
We
can
can
hear.
Oh,
We can
okay.
hear.
I was just saying thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
to see everyone. Thank you so much.
Good day. Bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.